Hello, everyone. Welcome back to San Diego. We have another interlude for you today. This scene is set at the dive bar owned by Baron Haley Montoya, as she has requested the presence of one Aaron O'Connell, as she has something to discuss with him.
Um, yeah, Aaron is outside in not in his furs. He's in the leather jacket. He actually very much looks like a biker. Actually, the way he's striding in, he
Well,
doesn't
that's
usually take
perfect.
care of himself
Given
to the
I,
state.
that's perfect, given the kind of bar you're in.
Hmm.
I'm sure that he knows that by now.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He's been around the Anarch bad boys, so he knows how to dress up and look real pretty for them. He strides in, still smoking a cigarette as he strides in. As I'm assuming he's greeted by blaring heavy metal music.
No, tonight the few patrons that are in the bar actually have country music playing, which is
Hmm.
weird. But she doesn't care as long as they pay. They can listen to whatever they want. So, but you were recognized immediately by one of the bartenders, well, the only one on duty tonight. And he is expecting you. He knows to expect you. Um, and he just kind of motions for you to follow him. He doesn't even say
Aaron
hello or
does.
anything.
Aaron doesn't even say hello back. He's just still smoking a cigarette away, just striding after him, just casual, cold.
And he takes you to the
You know,
back that at first glance, to anyone off the street, it looks like that it would lead into a storage room, and it does, but uh, there's a hallway that veers off to the right down a corridor with a couple of more doors. This place looks bigger on the inside than it definitely looks on the outside. Um, and he knocks on the door, and she's, of course, expecting this, and you may enter. Kind of an almost an annoyed tone. And he opens the door. He doesn't go in. He just kind of motions for you to go in.
Aaron strides in. She probably first thing Baron Montoya will see is just that waft of cigarette smoke as he just strides in, very back straight, just very cold demeanor, very just eyes, much like this picture in the overlay, just fixed on her. You wanted to see me.
I did have a seat, and she motions to the couch, and the guy shuts the door and walks away. Um,
He sits down very casually, like he's just watching her, like his eyes just boring on her.
she takes a seat uh, in a chair across from the couch. You notice that she's rearranged a bit. Um, the chairs are no longer on either side of the couch, they're actually in front of it, so she could sit across. Maybe she's met with some other people recently and just kept it like it was because she knew that you were coming or whatever. But um, all the furniture's in front of the TV blocking it. So, and if you look around, you'll notice that there's a rat or two scurrying across the floor.
Aaron just raises an eyebrow at her. Looks like he got rats.
I've had rats for a while. Look at this place.
If you want, I could talk to them and tell them to fuck off. I can
Nah,
do that.
nah, they don't bother me. Not afraid of them. They live here. I'm not gonna kick them out of their home.
All right, whatever you want. Baron, he adds with a. It's not even a smile, it just doesn't look like there's any emotion behind it. It's just a smirk.
No, she doesn't have a lot of emotion to her either. She just kind of narrows her eyes at you.
So you called me?
I did. I got a tip that I want you to check out for me.
Okay.
This could be a break that we need Um, there's rumors that there is well, not rumors. We know of this pack. This is a Sabbat pack called Siren's Call.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing about them is that this source has told me that at least one of its members has infiltrated the Camarilla.
Nothing new there then.
No, but what makes it more interesting is that this person or people are in some sort of position of power.
It makes sense when you think about it.
I don't know who they are. I don't know if they're male, female. All I know is that this person overheard, and I want it checked out. Because if it's true, then we can create some real conflict. We can get the two of them fighting again. And if they're distracted by each other, we can start to make our moves.
I like it. It's a sound strategy. After all, everyone still thinks I'm Christopher Miller, so it won't be that
I
hard.
know. I know. Now, I've been waiting a long time to let you in on this. Someone you know is going to be working with you on this.
His eyes narrow. You know, I normally work on my own, me and the kid.
Yeah, well,
Normally
this is different.
handle things.
This is different.
Who
I
then?
need Flash.
It for a second, there's a look of confusion, and then Montoya will see his hands just grate slowly down if there's a table in front of him. That coward. He's with us.
He is. And he's proven himself enough.
You do realize he ran at Fletcher. He
I
ran.
know his entire story. I do. Like I said, he's proven himself. He's been here about the same amount of time you have.
Oh, has he?
Hmm.
Hmm. Well, I just remember Flash ran off to the man, Giovanni. Stuck around them. So why
I
should I
don't
trust
know.
him?
I'm not saying you have to trust him. I'm telling you, you have to work with him.
Let me guess, is he still hot-headed as ever?
At times. But I use that to my
Good.
advantage.
Aaron just growls underneath. It's just a low growl as he just goes, "Yeah, so do I." Just, I'll work with him, but if he once fucks with my plan and my intentions with this group, Baron, I won't stop till I remind him of a lesson that I taught him a long time ago.
If he fucks with you, I don't give a shit what you do to him.
Good.
And vice versa. So tread carefully.
Is that a threat? He just says it's very. There's no like intimidation behind it. It's just a smile.
She moves closer to him. I don't make threats.
I know that's why I like you, Baron.
I trust that you'll get the job done. Information is what I'm after. Nothing more for now. You
Okay.
get me proof or whatever, at least names of who these people might be, and we can work on exposing them.
What about what Annie's doing? Should I keep her focused on her task or leave her out of this?
Keep her focused for now.
Mm. You
When
like what
I.
she's doing as he's standing up.
I'm sure of it.
Hey, she learned from the best. I'll get the job done. as he kind of is walking out quite coldly.
She nods and kind of just waves her hand at him before he walks out.
He just does a nod, very respectful, but just strides out of the bar then, and he's on his phone almost immediately, um, messaging his child, kind of going, "I'll be home later on and gotta do some stuff. If you want to pop
Um,
in for a visit."
you'll get a text back maybe 5 minutes later that says, "Sure, I might be able to pop in later."
He just says, "Oh, great, I've got a surprise for you," and he just sends a winky face as he goes, "I just got to run some errands." And he just, doesn't answer back then if she texts him or anything,
Right.
kind of leaving her in suspense almost.
All you get back is just a smiley face.
Okay. Aaron will kind of stride out of the bar, and he'll kind of cut across into like an alleyway where there's nobody around, and he'll spend a point of blood to turn into his flight form and start heading towards kind of the inner lay of the city, kind of into the night scene, and you know what I mean, kind of go exploring, basically, see what he can find out, basically, and see if anything's around like that.
Okay, well, before you do that,
Oh, okay, okay.
as you're in this alleyway, and when you first look around, you don't see anyone. But then, as you go to take your flight form, something appears in front of you.
Oh, Aaron even does that reaction. Is oh, he kind of takes a step back. Uh,
She doesn't really say anything, but her hand is outstretched with a piece of paper in it.
he just smiles, like he can tell he for some reason, like the initial kind of shock, it doesn't bother him. Then he goes, "Now there's a beautiful face." Give him a message as he looks down at it.
The note says, "I know you're here. If you want to see me, I'll be at the fountain at Balboa Park at midnight." And that's all it says.
He free all that sort of swagger just freezes. He looks up at her as it kind of returns to that look. Is this real? Because if it isn't,
She just nods.
if it is, he just kind of keeps saying, "If it isn't, I don't care how ugly you look. I'll tear your fucking spine out."
She bares her fangs at you, but
He just smiled.
she
Oh, he
doesn't make
smiled
any
back.
she doesn't make any attempt to like attack or anything. She just kind of bares her fangs and hisses.
Cute. Just a warning. I've looked for her for a long time.
And then she just disappears.
Aaron kind of almost waits, kind of, it's a kind of a standard thing. He just waits there for about 5 minutes just to make sure that nobody else is there before he eventually almost immediately turns into flight form and just straight to Balboa Park. Just almost like picking up speed as he can.
Yeah. She of course leaves as soon as she expected some sort of backlash. She was told to expect that when she delivered the note. Um, and put up this one. Okay. So you fly to Balboa Park,
Hmm.
and do you go? Where do you go to get out of your flight form?
He actually, before he gets out of his flight form, he'll land in a tree, swoop down and just sit there in a branch and just watch people going by first. Just that kind of paranoia, just to see, is it really her?
Well, by the time you get there, it's about 11:30.
Hmm.
Um, so she's not there yet. But if you sit there long enough and you watch people, you will then you'll see her appear, and she walks up to the fountain and she sits down on it, and she kind of looks up and around, and she's sitting there kind of wringing her hands and uh, rocking back and forth slightly anxious almost.
Aaron very calmly kind of makes it look like it's the normal bird and kind of swoops up behind her, like, flying over her, and will land in the bushes behind. And as he's kind of as the bird kind of goes down very, very low, he'll shift back into his normal self. So he's crouching down the bush, almost like a frightened child, just staring at her. So they can just see the back of her head as he'll get up very slowly and just as quietly as possible, just make his way towards her. And he'll probably pick up that scent of perfume
Mm.
that, as he kind of closes his eyes, as that scent just fills his nostrils, as he just goes,
And she's dressed like she used to: jeans, combat boots, t shirt, her hair down, minimal makeup.
he shakes as he gets ever so close that like he wants to reach out and touch her hair, but he eventually looks down. Cat,
She jumps and she turns around.
and she'll see Aaron in a long leather jacket, jeans, but it's his face. And she can see it from his pulled up sleeves that he's covered in
And she's
scars.
also wearing a very old, worn looking leather jacket.
He doesn't know what to say, but like when she looks at him, she'll just see this scarred face just crack into a smile, and it's not that swagger smile she remembers. It's kind of just a bit more jagged looking.
Aaron,
I've dreamt of this moment for how many years, and you still look. How can you look more beautiful than I remember?
uh,
I've I've searched for you for so long.
you have.
I never stopped. I couldn't shout at you and Fletcher. I got thrown through a building. I could
I
see
know.
you, but you couldn't hear me. I screamed for you.
I thought you were. I thought you died. And then I
He
heard a few years ago that you were alive.
he pulls out a necklace, and you see that engagement ring around this little band. I never
If you
stopped
look,
looking.
she puts her hand on your shoulder, and you can see that she still wears her ring.
He just looks down. I fought my way through werewolf country. I'm not as pretty as I used to be. As he's just looking down, he can't even look at her because in his mind he's like, "Please let this be real."
She runs her hand along his face gently. You're really standing in front of me.
Broken, not like you remember.
Not like you remember either.
I know, but you're still my Katerina always. Could not look for you.
She's fighting back tears as she doesn't want to cry in public. There are some
He just
people milling about, and
he actually just pulls you into him, so she basically cries on his chest as he, kind of like looking around as he just pulls you right into his chest.
she will. She'll. It's not like a hysterical sob or anything, but she just kind of softly cries into him.
I see you still wear my jacket.
Yeah,
And you always look good in leather.
I have more of it now. um, I
I'm.
wear I wear this one especially when I miss you.
I think you can tell I've not really dressed well in a long time.
Uh, well, if you've been traveling all over God knows where looking for me, I don't imagine.
I am. He just takes out a photo from his pocket, and it's that photo you sent of him a long time ago. As you can see, there's tears. You can see bloodstains on it. Probably you would guess that he's been crying looking at it, or just.
You still have that.
Of course I did. I like the way you looked when I took it.
I still have
I
mine
am.
of you too, but I framed it.
I couldn't exactly frame it where I was going.
I know.
It's the only one I have left of everything. I lost all of it when I earned these. As he just touches his face.
Yeah.
I fought another werewolf.
And you survived.
Of course I did. It's me, remember?
Hmm.
I. How did you know I was here?
Someone I know. His name is Ananias. He and his sire own the Club Dionysus.
The Ponzi fucker? Aaron smiles.
Yeah, he
You know
told
him?
yeah, I do. I do. He told me. I don't know how he found out. I don't.
I didn't tell him anything.
I've never told him about you before, so I don't.
Maybe he's one of the mind reading ones. You know what they're like.
Well, he's a Toreador,
They can do funny things.
I guess. I don't know.
Hey, doesn't matter. I'll find out eventually, and you know me. I'll crack a few skulls and do what I do best.
Yeah, well, I have my ways of finding out further information. When I first heard about it, I did some digging around and confirmed.
Look
So
at
I
you.
had. I'm a harpy.
He just runs his hand through your hair. You know you get it eventually. With a big warm smile.
Yeah, it probably helps that the prince of this city is a Bruja.
Yeah, I heard.
She's cool though. She's a lot different than other princes I've met.
Uh, well,
She
the
seems to
gangrel aren't
actually she
the
seems to
same.
actually give a shit about her people.
Funny, right? Remember Drago?
Yeah, I do. That fucker.
Yeah, well, the gangrel I don't think are as up to snuff as me and the boys back in the day. Particularly the whip, that whip. Well, he even goes whip. I don't take him in the slightest bit seriously.
Oh, he's a cunt.
He's
I
just a
would
little pup.
I would
He's a
not
little pup
I wouldn't
trying to
shed
get
it.
big.
I would not shed any tears if something happened to him. Uh,
Hmm.
his child would make a much better whip than him anyway.
Who is this child?
Alistair McDuncan.
Ah, now I might have heard of that name before.
Probably. He was pretty instrumental in the war here. Um,
Yeah.
he he did a lot. Um, Tony embraced him just for cannon fodder, basically. I guess maybe he was trying to be like the Sabbat. I don't know. Uh,
Yeah.
we don't normally do that, but whatever. We were in a war, and I don't think he expected him to survive because he was very shocked when he saw him again after.
That's the thing about us, Cat. When you least expect it, we always manage to surprise you.
Mm,
It's always been the way.
very true. But after the war, she told me, the prince, I could have any position I wanted. I could have been her seneschal if I wanted,
Mm.
but I didn't want that.
Seneschal Horton does have a ring to it.
Seneschal's boring. You know me, I have to know things. I have to be in the loop on everything. What better way to do that than to be a harpy?
I know, sweetheart. I know. I just, I knew you'd get it eventually. That's all. I'm proud of you.
She smiles really big at that. Thank you, Aaron.
So, she kind of looks down. I'm a dad now.
She raises her eyebrows. Oh?
Yeah.
Oh. Wait, I do. Hang on. I know this. Yes, I remember. That, that other little one that Saoirse looks after. Um, Annie, right?
Now, how do you know that? As his eyes narrow. It's a playful smile.
Because her sire, she says, his name is Christopher Miller. And of course I know that name, Mr.
Aaron
O'Connell.
has, Aaron has a guilty little smile. I forgot I could never quite lie to you like I can do like other people, Miss Horton.
No, you
But
can't.
look, she's a good kid. She's a good kid.
I know. I
I
know.
care for her a lot.
She
And
seems quiet, but she seems to have taken a liking to McDuncan.
has she now? Will I have to
Mm,
be Big Daddy Papa and step in?
nah. He just likes to show off and she likes watching him.
Good. She deserves to have fun. I'm glad she's having fun.
She looked like she
She,
was having fun when I saw them at Club Dionysus.
you can actually see the relief on Aaron's face. I'm glad. She's. I like Annie. She's good for me,
Good.
you know. And I'm trying not to be the old man.
Well, I haven't approached her. We haven't met.
I think I don't think she wants to get into politics or anything like that. I think she's just happy.
Good. Politics isn't for everyone.
No,
Believe me,
she's.
there are nights that I wake up wishing that I wasn't in politics, but I made my bed,
I know. I think she's not one of these ones that's interested. She's gentle. That's why I chose her.
and that's
Plus,
fine.
she's a bit fiery, and she reminds me of you in some ways. That little temper of yours. She has a wink.
I've gotten I've gotten a little bit of a better handle on it.
Oh, I still bet you I can make you get mad again, like I always can. Let
I'm
me do that
sure
little
you can.
scrunch. Let me do that little scrunched up face.
And she narrows her eyes and scrunches up her face.
Yeah, you can actually see Aaron beam. I've missed that
Why do I feel like a giddy schoolgirl?
because I feel like a giddy schoolboy. I just I don't have that worry that I used to anymore, Kat. That fear of it, it's gone. That beast is satiated.
Good. Good.
Yeah, I am. Because when you look into Aaron's eyes, there is a coldness there. There's not that bright spark. There's, it's just like he's accepted that beast into him.
If you look deep enough into Katerina's eyes, you'll notice that there is something a little different about her. You can't quite put your finger on it, but there's something different. Maybe darker a little bit, or more alluring, or maybe both.
Yeah, Aaron, like Katarina will notice Aaron doing that familiar like head cock as he just seems to lean in. Looks like you changed too.
Yeah, been through a lot. It's been 20 years, Aaron.
Yeah,
I made my way across the country from New Sarum. Got here just in time for a war.
I made my way after you. I just had to fight a lot more than you did probably to get to you.
Yeah. I've been pretty comfortable the last few years. I wouldn't call it peace, but I've almost stopped looking over my shoulder.
What are you running from?
There's tension from everyone. I mean, there are anarchs in this city. There's Sabat regrouping, lying in wait. It's gonna happen again.
We could go off. You, me, and Annie. Leave it all behind.
She considers this for a moment.
I know a nice little place. You have to deal with a flamboyant Bruja,
Oh,
but
Tiny?
you know him too.
Of course I do. It's someone I will never forget.
Yeah, neither will I. But there is a nice place that we could go off together if you wanted to. I understand it's been 20 years, Kat, but
Oh, it's not just that. I've helped build this city up from where it was. I've have responsibilities. I have people counting on me. I can't just up and go.
the Camarilla failed you last time. Look what they did to you. Look what they did to
The
you.
Camarilla as a whole fucking sucks.
Yeah,
But
and who's
the
to say
way
they won't
that
do it again?
it functions in this city is different.
Until they ask you to do something you know was horrible. Until they ask you to kill a child. Until they do that again. And then, because you wanted to do the right thing, they might turn and make you a caitiff again.
That's not gonna happen.
The Camarilla failed all of us back there.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
it did.
I could have been Hound, Scourge, whatever. I don't want any of that anymore. I'm done. Yeah.
I will consider your offer.
I know what that means. He says very gently. There is hurt in him, but he's just very, very gentle about it.
Aaron, I love you. I always will. Always have. But I can't just run off and leave. There are things I have to do first. You've waited for me for 20 years. What's a little longer?
Because I know you. That's why. I know when you're saying no.
I'm not saying no. I really will consider it.
I need to ask you something.
What?
Something I saw in Fletcher. I saw you being led away by someone, and I don't know if it's my own head playing tricks on me. I saw her. He growls it. You know who I thought I saw?
Who?
Your sister, leading you away. Or what it looked like her. Now I was covered in rubble, crawling out. But I saw that.
Oh, I thought it was her at first, too. But it wasn't.
Okay. Okay. Maybe it was my own head. After all, getting smacked down by a Methuselah is not a pleasant thing.
Yeah. Oh, I thought, like I said, I thought it was her too at first. But it wasn't. I'll
Yeah.
admit I was hopeful
Hopeful.
just to get to see her again. But
Cat.
I know. But it wasn't her.
I'm not saying Serena. As he looks around, does he notice there's a definite difference? He doesn't growl at the mention of Serena. Serena was a product of our failure. Evil isn't born, it's made.
I know.
And what she did to Cecilia was horrible. It was. I don't have sympathy for her that way, but we made that evil. All of us, including Serena.
I know.
And to be perfectly honest, she was right in the end. I don't agree with her methods, but she was right in a way. Camarilla is diseased and corrupt.
Yeah.
So
It is.
just he doesn't know what to say. He just kind of goes, "I'll leave. If you want to come find me, just send a message and I'll be around somewhere."
She pulls him to her. She gives him a very soft kiss on the lips.
He closes his eyes and it's very tender. It's almost like it's almost like she's a piece of glass and he's afraid she'll shatter in front of him. If you don't
She
come,
pulls
I'll
away.
understand. He just he doesn't when she pulls away he grips onto her hand, like stopping her. And like his eyes fix on her. If you don't come, I'll understand. I travelled half the world to find you. I'm not gonna force anything on you.
You'll see me again. You will.
Maybe. Just he just smiles. You know of a by the way, there's a Sabat pack crawling around. You should keep an eye out.
Oh?
I heard on the street it's called the Siren's Call or some shit.
Well, that's a weird name.
Maybe they're all girls or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. I just heard they're prowling around, so I thought a harpy would be good to inform. Seeing as I'm a good camera
Of
citizen and
course.
all that, as he winks.
Right. Good Camarilla citizen.
They have a. I heard they have one of your people in their pocket.
Really now? That is
Hmm.
interesting.
Don't know who. My information's not that good yet. But I thought, seeing as you're a good little Camarilla girl, and you are as vicious as I think you are, you'll take that little opportunity.
Of course. We can't have any Sabat in our ranks now, can we?
Well, I would suppose it would look very bad.
It would.
I
It would
mean,
look very bad.
that's not
I
saying you can
suppose if
let them.
I hear anything, you want me to let you know, don't you?
Nah, I can
No.
find my own. No, God, I don't. You know me. I've always been good at getting what I need.
Hmm, that's very true.
Besides, besides, why not let them roam around and have a little fun, and you just make sure they roam around into the right little harpy's domain and fuck shit up. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I can do something. As she
Remember,
says very coyly.
that's my girl. Does that probably strikes Katarina as odd, as Aaron is was never that vicious before or got cold about it?
Times
Or
have
better,
changed us.
or better yet, he leans right in. Take one alive. I heard they like blood bonds and stuff. Why not do the flash treatment, right?
Hmm. I have better methods.
Well, I'll leave that to your indisposable resources. I'm staying out of this.
Thanks for the tip.
Anytime. But yeah, maybe I'll see you. Maybe I won't.
You will. You will.
Just remember what I said about Annie. She's not into politics. Don't be taking her under your wing on me, or you'll be getting a visit from Papa Gangrel. He has a little menacing wink.
No, I will not. I promise.
He just nods once. Very cold. It's like Aaron's a lot colder. As he undoes the thing off his neck and just hands it to you. That's yours.
No, I gave it to you.
I
Keep
know,
it,
but
please. Please keep it.
okay. He just folds it back into his jacket. As he takes off his new jacket and just slides it over his shoulders. Old one's getting a bit raggedy, sweetheart. Thought you needed an upgrade.
Well, thank you. I do believe I'll keep it.
Good. And if you don't come with me, just let it be a reminder that I do love you, but I don't deserve you. So now I gotta go. I gotta feed. He adds with this little menacing smile as he's striding out into the dark.
Katerina stands there for a moment. Kind of a grin comes across her face. I don't want to do this to him, but I gotta. She turns around and the grin comes across her face, widens into a smile as she walks off into the dark. And as you are walking the opposite direction into the dark, you see something. Something else familiar. But you only see it for a split second. It's a glint of blue. It's there for a split second, and then it's gone, leaving you wondering. But it seems very familiar. Were you
Yeah, Aaron.
hallucinating?
Yeah. Aaron kind of looks down. He wants to go back and storm and rage, but he doesn't. He just smiles to himself and just goes, "No, Aaron, Nick, no. We'll go see Annie. And no." As he just keeps walking, this his mind is racing, going, "This can't. No, no." As he's trying to blot out, work against that thoughts in his head, but he can't still think of that blue feeling. It's like, no, no way. As he's messaging Annie, going, "I'm on the way."
Katerina heads off, and she's met by someone. She turns to her and she says, "Sorry if I made you jealous back there." And that's where this interlude will end.